All right, here we are, guys, back for hole number 4. So let's take a look here. Not sure what the wind is. I wonder if they're trying to entice guys to go for that island bump up there. Looks like it. It's going to be hard with extra mile, I believe. The more wind that you have, the easier that'll be. Now, obviously, you can just, lay up towards the left-hand side like my opponent's going to do, especially if my opponent hits the fairway. I'll probably just, go for the island. I don't necessarily recommend that you do it, but if you're going to hit perfect ball, then I don't really see a harm in it because I think that you'll probably give yourself a very short pitch. So let's see what my opponent does here. I do recommend doing something similar, but you can probably use QB to get some accuracy. So you can see my opponent gets up here just past the tree here. As I mentioned, you could probably get away with QB and probably wind up in between those two trees for your shot with no real difficulty as well. So let's just take a look, see what this looks like. I'm worried that third hop's going to bounce in the water. Probably need to go with a big top or berserker or something if you wanted to try that. I don't see any, feasible way for me to do that reasonably, or else I'd do it. So I guess what we're going to do is we're just going to play the layup. Now, I would probably recommend you guys doing this with a katana ball. However, I'm going to do it with a navigator. Perfect ball. If you hit your perfect ball, you'll probably be okay. No, maybe not. I guess that answers that. So here you can see it catches the bunker. It's not a deal breaker, but it's just going to take you out of the hole. So you'll see my opponent gets the opportunity to play for eagle, and I have to play for birdie now. Well, I mean, I could still eagle it, but it's just going to be far harder than it has to be, especially with no side spin. That makes it even worse. So what I would recommend, if you get up past this tree here, you could play, I'm sure he's close to min club a little bit, play at about 2-3 rings here. It looks like he's just short hitting his. With perfect ball, might have been able to get that one to drop. You'll see that's a very straightforward, easy pitch. Almost no reason to even go for the green. It's so easy. So if you can get, out of the sand here and give yourself a reasonable chance, here you can see that what it's going to require for me would be basically perfect ball, going out towards the side of the tree here, and basically just adding just a little bit of curl after I play this wind, which I do like kind of that, and then maybe like right here. Now, what I'm going to do, I guess, instead of doing that, because granted, you can do it, but what I'm going to do, I guess, is let's just pitch this out, and I'll still give you guys the adjustment, especially since he, didn't even move his. He didn't even play rings. All he did was short hit it. So I'll give you guys the adjustment with what you should do to give yourself a chance. Now, the usually going in the front, with the 3 bars of backspin, I don't usually recommend it for this hole. However, when you get a easy straight wind like this, it's going to be the easiest way to make it, no question. So here you can see there's min club. As I mentioned, you'd be very close to min club, which for me is going to play about 4 per ring. So the hardest thing here, you can see that it's kind of a glitchy slope. So you'll see that I'll put the third hop right in front of the hole. I'll play very close to just a little bit of an overplay on 4 per ring. So I'm going to go just a fraction more than 1.5 rings here. So right here. And rolls it right in. So you'll see, very straightforward, easy shot. Be easy to pick up an eagle. All you'll need is that side spin to keep it away from the bunker. So let's take a look at this shootout real quick. Oh, so I have a navigator. It's not going to help my calls here. You really need that side spin. However, this time we have the wind pointing the other direction. So when you play wind effect, you know, it's going to kind of naturally drift over towards the hole. So I won't need to do too much curl or anything in relation to what you saw me do on the actual second hole. I'm going to be able to play this quite differently. I won't need quite near as much curl, even with less side spin. So it's a completely different hole when the wind is pointed completely opposite direction. Now what I am going to do, I'm probably just going to play whatever the wind is. I'm just going to play max rings on that. So if it's 5.2, I'm just going to play 5.2 rings. And you can see with what I'm doing with my side spin, back spin, we're at around 4. And I'll need very, very little curl on this to get this over towards the hole. It'll be very, very little. So 5.2 rings. Oh, still too much. Even with that little curl, it's still on the left-hand side of the hole. So it just goes to show you, the power of wind effect. If you want to see, two completely different approaches, look at that shootout versus actually me playing hole 2 with the wind going in the opposite direction. It just shows you how different the shots wind up with, extremely different spins, double the spin and double the curl. And they still wind up about the same spot. So good luck there, guys, and I'll catch you guys on hole 5.